Matter in our surroundings, part 2. Let's study the chemical classification of matter. Matter is divided into two types, substance and mixture. Substance is further classified into two types, that is elements and compounds. Elements are of three types, that are metal, non-metal and metalloids, whereas compounds are of two types, that are organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Mixture is classified into two types, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Example of homogeneous mixture is a solution, that is a true solution, and heterogeneous mixture, it is colloid and suspension. Let's see what are substances. Substance is a purest form of matter. This is a homogeneous material which consists of a single type of particles with definite set of properties. Element is the simplest form of substance which cannot be broken down into simpler substances further. For example, oxygen, copper, hydrogen, iron, etc. There are 118 elements known till now. The first 94 occurs on Earth and remaining are synthetic elements. Let's discuss the properties of metal, non-metal and metalloids. Metals comprise more than 78% of all known elements. Metals possesses lustrous, conduct electricity and heat. They are malleable and ductile. Whereas non-metals are 20. There are 22 non-metals which are known, from which 11 are gases, 1 is liquid, that is bromine, and 10 are solids. They are non-lustrous, but they are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Plus, they are not malleable and not ductile. Metalloids, they show the properties of metals and non-metals both. So we can say that they have the intermediate properties between metals and non-metal. Compound is formed when two or more atoms of different elements are combined to form a molecule. Example is H2O, NaCl, CO2. They have the fixed composition, such as H2O. The composition of hydrogen and oxygen is in the ratio of 2:1, and in NaCl it is 1:1, and in CO2 it is 1:2. Okay, they can be broken down into elements as well. The two kinds of compounds are organic and inorganic. Organic compounds are the compounds which are formed by carbon and hydrogen. Inorganic compounds are formed by the other elements except carbon and hydrogen. A mixture is that form of matter in which two or more substances are simply mixed in any of the proportion. The types of mixtures are homogeneous and heterogeneous. In homogeneous mixture, components are completely mixed with each other and its composition is uniform throughout. They are also called true solutions. The properties of true solutions are: it is homogeneous mixture of solute plus solvent, and solute particles are very small, which cannot even be seen through the powerful microscope. Size of particles is less than 1 nanometer, that is 10 raised to the power minus 9 meter. Okay, the particles do not settle down due to the gravity. Examples of true solutions are alloys, sugar in water, salt in water, water and alcohol, etc. Types of solutions. There are three types of solution, that are solid solution, in which solvent is solid and solute can be solid, liquid or gas. Examples are tin and aluminium in copper, mercury in gold, hydrogen in palladium. Okay, then the liquid solution. Liquid solution is in which solvent is liquid and solute can be any. Example is sugar in water, ethanol in water. The third is gaseous solution, in which solute is gas and solvent is also gas. Example, argon, oxygen and nitrogen, plus carbon dioxide in air. Guys, do you know what is aqueous, non-aqueous, saturated, supersaturated, unsaturated solution? Let's study about them. Aqueous solutions are those solutions which are made in water. Example, sugar solution. Non-aqueous The solutions that are made in any solvent other than the water, example sulfur and carbon disulfide. Saturated solution, it is a solution in which no more amount of solute can be dissolved at a particular temperature. Supersaturated solution is the solution which contains more dissolved solute than the saturated concentration. And unsaturated solution is solution which contains less amount of solute than required to make the saturated solution. Heterogeneous mixtures. These are the combination of two or more substances in which composition of these substances is not uniform throughout. Examples: mixture of salt and sugar, water and sand, and water or oil. The colloid. Colloid appears to be homogeneous but are heterogeneous. Particles are visible with microscope. The size is between 1 nanometer to the 1000 nanometer. Particles show Tyndall effect. They do not settle down or take time to settle. Example is clouds, mud, milk, cream, blood. Tyndall effect. Do you know what is Tyndall effect? Tyndall effect is the scattering of light by particles in colloid or particles in fine suspension. It can be seen when light passes through the colloids, causing the light to scatter in multiple directions. The amount of scattering depends on frequency of light, density of colloid, size of particles. Okay, and you must know that the blue light has more frequency, so it is scattered most, and red light has least frequency, so it is scattered the least. Do you know, have you ever seen when the light is entering into a dark room and dust particles you can see from a hole or something else? That is the Tyndall effect. Okay, when the light enters into a dark room, motion of dust particles can be observed. That is the Tyndall effect. Let's see what is suspension. Suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. The solute particles are quite large. The particles are visible even with the naked eyes. They may or may not show Tyndall effect. The particles may settle down due to the gravity. Example: sand in water, mixture of chalk powder in water. Tyndall effect I have already explained you. Now see what is Brownian motion. Brownian motion is when the particles within the fluid collides with each other, so they adapt a zigzag motion, and that zigzag motion is called Brownian motion. Let's study the methods of separation of a mixture. The first one is crystallization. Do you know what is crystallization? It is a process by which chemical is converted from a liquid solution into a solid crystalline state. The crystals are formed when we perform the process of crystallization. It is affected by the physical condition of solution, that is temperature and impurities as well. Example is salt crystallization. We make a Bohr salt and alums and all. These are formed by the crystallization. Distillation. This process begins with heating a liquid to boiling point. The liquid evaporates, forming a vapor. The vapor is then cooled, usually by passing it through pipes or tubes at a lower temperature. The compounds having different boiling points can be separated using distillation process. The types of distillation processes are simple distillation, fractional distillation, steam distillation, vacuum distillation. Simple distillation involves heating the liquid mixture to boiling point and immediately condensing the resulting vapors. This method is only effective for mixtures wherein boiling points of liquids are different. Minimum difference is of 25 degrees Celsius. Fractional distillation, it is used to separate a mixtures of liquids that have similar boiling points less than 25 degrees Celsius. When the liquid is heated, so it is converted into vapor that rise into fractional column. The vapors now cool and condense on walls of condenser. Steam distillation, it is used to separate heat sensitive components in a mixture. This is done by passing steam through the mixture to vaporize some of it. The resulting vapor is condensed to afford the required distillate. This is used to obtain essential oils and herbal distillates from several aromatic herbs. Vacuum distillation, It is ideal for separating mixture of liquids with very high boiling points. In order to boil these compounds, the pressure of surroundings is lowered. The lowering of pressure enables the component to boil at lower temperature. Once the vapor pressure of component is equal to the surrounding pressure, it is converted to vapor and condensed to be collected. Chromatography. This is the method by which a mixture is separated by distributing its components between two phases, stationary phase and mobile phase. Stationary phase remains fixed, is a place, while mobile phase carries the components of mixtures. At different boiling points in stationary phase, the different components are absorbed. Evaporation, I guess. It is a changing of liquid to vapors as evaporation, used to separate a solid substance that has dissolved in any liquid. Dissolved substance is left as a solid and liquid evaporates. Example is common salt in water. Sedimentation. Separation of solids from liquids. All the solids settle down at the bottom of the beaker and on the top layer of liquid is obtained. Decantation, separation process in which two immiscible liquids are separated. Example, oil and water. Centrifugation. It is the technique which involves the application of centrifugal force to separate the particles from the solution according to their shape, size, density, etc. It is separated from spinning foam.